Hello, this is Olga Jevtich. I'm Miss Virginia Senior America 2003, and this is Fashion Notes. I'm glad you tuned in today because we have interesting guests. As I always said, we always have very interesting guests that may learn things and, and entertain. And today I have a lovely lady that I met, years and years ago, and she was guest on my show before. So I was recently, not just recently, just before the holiday, the Torpedo Factory. I like to go there. I always mention that I find interesting, designers and all interesting artists there. So here she was. I said, well, Jeannie, do you remember me? So we embraced, and I said, great, you got new stuff. So I invited her to come and be our guest again. Well, her name is Jeannie Michel, and here she is. Thank you very much for coming today, with all new things, that she's doing right now. I was fascinated first time when I saw, her work, but now she's having, as all artists, they don't do only one thing, they change, their imagination go wild, so they go and do different things. So she does different things and with other artists, and it's very inspiring to go there and to see the work of local people, what they're doing at the Torpedo Factory, and she's there. Thank you very much, Jeannie, for coming in today, and really I'm glad I found you by chance, actually.
Thanks for having me.
Even today, she came, she had a little problem with the traffic, but still, she came fine. And she's going to tell us all about her beautiful work and practical thing that she's making and recycling and making, giving things new life. This is what the best I can tell you. She's using all kind of old fabric and especially I think the fine wools and cashmere, and making something you've probably never seen before. I haven't either. First time I saw when I went to the factory, I said, what is this? And she said, and she's wearing one. She's going to model for you gloves. Actually, gloves, they're not, just your ordinary gloves that all of us have. But this is something that you can really text and use computer and still be warm at the same time very fashionable. So she's here today to tell us, how she's doing it, and they're not really, they're pairs, but they're not, absolutely identical. And this is the beauty of it. And they're so soft and cuddly. And tell us, how did you get, the idea to make something like that?
Well, I was working at the downtown market about 4 years ago
And
during
it was
December,
cold, probably.
and I was freezing. And when I'd make a sale, I'd have to take off my mittens and have my bare hand and the cold coming up my sleeve. And I thought, oh God, there has to be something I could make to keep my hand warm. And so that's when I made these, and I started wearing my mittens over them. But it was such a cold winter 4 years ago, it made me have to do something. And then after I started making them, people would look at them often and say, what
is this?
Is that a leg warmer? And I'd be like, well, you can put your leg in it if you want, if it fits. But, and now people are accustomed to seeing them more. Yeah.
But the interesting thing is she is using, not new fabric, but the fine quality recycling things. Some sweater, they have ribs or maybe mothballs and things like that, that she's using the good parts and making different things. Do you make hats too? Like a...
I don't.
You don't? Oh, okay. You'll be good, with all these, matching thing, maybe a little cap, or, with something rose or something like that. Well, just idea, I don't know. But anyway, she has a display of different things, but they're all made of cashmere. I can, I don't even have to look at, I can feel it, how nice and soft it is. And of course, all these colors are coordinated very nicely. And let's see, and you have a place to put your thumb in.
Oh, yep, go in the other way.
Oh, yeah,
Head in the other way. And then
so I'm not really that good at it.
There you go.
See, you go like that. and then you are, you really have ready. Maybe if you are really cold, you can pull it up like
Yeah,
that,
that's
and
what I do.
so you can do, like a play around.
If I'm walking down the street, I'll just pull
Yeah,
my
I know.
fingers
You
in.
pull down and
Yeah.
hold like that, so nobody will know. And then when you don't, use it, choose to put it back, and you can go to the restaurant, eat dinner. It doesn't really
Exactly.
matter, or look at your, emails, or
Yeah, we just use our fingers all the time now. People don't realize they take off their gloves all the time, and so to
Absolutely, and
have these
especially
on.
you always work with something, so it's strange to put, probably gloves all the time. You will feel, that you are not using your fingers
Exactly.
the right way.
Exactly.
So where do you get all these things, all these cashmeres, salt
So
cashmeres? I had a
people,
lady also from the torpedo factory. She was making dresses, putting together also, in different interesting ways, dresses and jackets. But this is a unique idea. I'm sure, you should sell your patent, to the factory, and so they can really produce it. But this is not going to be same, of course. This is something that is hand done, and it's, her idea. And they're not. For example, I'm just looking at all these gloves. How do you call them? You don't call them gloves. How do you?
fingerless gloves. That's what I call them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, well, they're not gloves, but they are, kind of gloves. And so you have a different color. See, so this is, for example, I just noticed, this is, something with the blue and the burgundy, and other one also have but the different design, but it still goes together. So this is a pair, really. You cannot miss it because this is pair, even if they're not identical, but they have the same family of color, and they absolutely go together. And they are, in pink and blue. Look at these
Those are
colors.
big, thick wool ones.
Wool and cashmere. Oh, this is such a, and then it's a beautifully finish with, she has a, all kind of machine that she's doing this. And how long does it take you to make one, let's say?
Such a common question, and I really don't know because I do a big group at once. So I'll take, say, all of these sweaters, might be 7 different sweaters. I'll cut them all up. I'll make something that looks like a scarf that might be 20 feet long, and that'll be the arm part. Then I'll make the hands on a regular sewing machine so that they fit better. And then, so everything's done in a group. So it's hard to say. Anything with stitching is time-consuming, but I can't say exactly.
This is really interesting, the idea. See, sometimes, you get idea from necessity. You really needed something, and you think of, how can I, do this? And you come to the idea that's, absolutely unique, different, and, very useful, and also, fashionable at the same time. It's a touch of, a touch of elegance too, because you for example, what she is wearing, burgundy sweater, and she had her
Valentine's Day.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely, and something in burgundy with coordinating pink and black, and so that's great. But she started actually with the bags. Is that right? I know. This is how I met. When I met her, she started with the bags. But now also she's using all kind of like a wool fabrics.
So almost all recycled wool.
Wool.
And particularly the wool from the 50s is very heavy and very durable. And very textural, and incredibly beautiful.
So do you, when you start doing, for example, you have a piece of some old coat, let's say, in nice wool, very nicely, maybe some, in color, whatever. And do you picture how it's going to be, or do you make any, sketches before you start, or you just start working and it's just, your hands. Your hands are, just doing things, and finally, final product comes just from your imagination and from know how to do it.
Let's see. The first thing is like the shapes are already set. So I do a few different patterns that I drafted 10 years ago. And Every now and then I think about doing some strange shape, but the truth is that these are the shapes that work for women. And
practical shape.
yes, and I could make it a screwy looking shape, you know, some sort of twist or something, but then how are you going to find your things? You know, and in fact, you really do want
That's
a bag
true.
that just opens, you can see your things, there's pockets in the right places. So making one.
Okay, as a woman, she knows what is, of course, practical, you know, for your own use, you know, what is good, you know. You know, usually I have some person that cannot find anything in it, you know, they're all everywhere. And, you know, I get frustrated, I cannot find my keys, you know, most of the time.
Somebody got the idea that you should line purses in black, which is crazy. When you've got, even though these are dark colors, when you've got color and pattern in it, you can actually see your things. So when it's black, it's like kind of a big black hole.
Exactly, you cannot find anything. And so your lining is what, usually lighter cottons, or what do you use for lining?
Lots of curtains, tablecloths.
Cottons.
A lot of decorative fabrics from the 50s and 60s. You can see this was drapery for probably a boys' room in the 50s. It's got trains and things on it. Just everyone's different.
And I noticed you can see here on this one, it says she's into birds right now. Maybe next time she will be into alligators, or who knows, you know, what, you know, her imagination is going to take her. But this is what kind of bird is this? This is just imaginary?
Oh, hummingbird.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, how I didn't think about. I have them in my garden, and I enjoy watching them in the summer. You know, they're so cute. Wonderful. And the way how, you know, they fly, you know, very regular. But anyway, and this is, you know, she's stitching all these pieces so that you can really see it is a,
this is an unusual shape for me, and I brought it just because it's not even finished. It was just on my table. That's what I'm working on right now, just a few little bags for Valentine's.
And you have a, you know, little, you know, pocket for, you know, whatever, you know, think you want it to be. What about the frames? You told me earlier that you are ordering from some company that make, you know, some metal frames, and you give them the description, so they will make it by your description in different colors.
Yeah, you can give them the specifications. And they will. You know, you have to think about the length you want, but also how long you want the leg to be. Part, because the leg will control how far you can open it. You know, if the legs were short, you would go.
Oh yes, you cannot do it. That's right. It has to be practical. And this one is in making right now. As you can see, she is using like a pin, you know, to close it. But this is going to be probably some kind of antique button or some interesting, you know, closure here, right here. And they are all from, you know, different, as you can see, from different wool
A lot of times
fabrics.
They do things where the picture continues onto the flap. So like when this is tight, the hummingbird's beak will go through here. Let's see this one.
I see. Oh yeah, you continue on the, I see, very clever. So you can see the whole bird, actually. Yes, yes.
So I like to do the detailed things like this.
Details, all these details. I don't know if you can see it, but they are very delicate. And this is nothing. This is not the part of the fabric that was added, and she stitched all of this, so it will look like I don't know. It's like a tree, or I don't know what it is, but it's very interesting. And also, she is using different fabric here. You know, different, but wool, mostly wool. You work mostly wool.
Wool is so durable.
And what is good about this one, I like personally, that you can put your keys or your glasses, you know, right here, so you don't have to open the purse.
Right.
You know, which is, this is very, I always look for purses, they have some kind of side pocket, so you can put, you know, like keys, especially keys. When I put my keys in my purse, you know, I dig, or also my phone, I can never find it, you know, and I have to, you know, when I have to use it, you know, I have to dig in and find all kind of things that I'm not looking for. But one that I'm looking for, I usually do not, you know, find. But this is an interesting one because they're using, you know, different, but they're all in coordinating colors, as you can see. They're all same family of color, but they're all different texture of all these. And also see this is continuation on the bottom.
Yeah, the roots of the tree.
On the
That's
bottom
my favorite
and
part.
goes on the other side. So this is a work of art. For example, we have one on the back. I have to get
There's
this.
more birds. Yeah.
This is a big one. This is, I call it like a shopping bag, I
This
guess.
is something neat. This is like a shopping bag or a market bag.
Market
but if
bag.
you don't have a whole ton of junk,
Oh, you can have that, and then you can wear it. You can do it like that. Oh, okay.
yeah, so it'll be like that. But then if you've got a bunch of stuff, you can open it on up.
So this
They're
is a
just
very fine wool, I can
bags
see.
you could just beat up
So
for
did you make the
years.
pattern for the bird, or you just
I just played with them. I cut them freehand now.
Freehand.
But I set them up different ways when I was just starting to play
and
with
then
the
stitched
idea.
it? And you do it before you put together the bag.
Yeah, all the stitching's done when the bag's
So it will not go
flat.
probably through the
Right,
lining,
yeah.
lining or the
Exactly.
pocket on this side.
Exactly.
And you saw also she has a very bright lining in this one.
Oh, give it a yank.
Okay, wait a minute. Oops.
There you go.
Very bright red, and even when you have stuff in it, you can really see it very well. And also the side pocket matches the handles. And also, how do you secure this?
They're magnetic snaps.
Magnetic.
And there's a wide variety of quality, and you have to give it a good yank.
You
Don't
really
work, you won't
have
hurt
to
it.
work,
But,
and how do you cannot sew it? Do you have to glue it this year?
No, magnetic snaps, well, they come different ways, but these ones are the good ones, and they have a kind of a fork underneath it. And so you put a plate kind of on that, and then hammer the fork flat.
See. They are very strong,
Yeah,
really.
they are.
They are really strong. You really have to pull it a lot. But I thought this was a very interesting bag with the side pocket also. Here I love side pockets. Those are really good. And the interesting part, of course, is that these two huge birds. I have to open up to show these birds. I know, like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I got it. See and the colors are so bright. If you're just wearing, just a plain outfit, I think that will really you'll be noticed, wearing this bag because it is different and it's one of a kind. Is it?
They're all one of a
her
kind.
things are one of a kind. So if you have one, that nobody in the world will have the same thing. So this is great. I like this, and also she found some probably old button here, for this is more for
Many times the buttons that
decoration.
are on the coats that I recycle are interesting. It's an old celluloid button.
I can see those are, very old, buttons, that you can buy probably on flea markets, sometimes. And,
I get them here and there.
Now they make it, not as pretty as they used before. And of course you can see like two big bags there, also the birds. Oh, this year she's into birds.
This is a bird year.
Bird
right
year.
now. We'll
And,
see.
next year, what do you think will be next year?
I have no idea. We'll see where it goes from there.
Do you dream about it or what? Or how do you decide some of the stuff, what you're doing?
Oh boy. It's just kind of, it seems like that's what comes up in your head. And then you get response from people, and that encourages you to try more. When I look back on the trees that I first did a couple years ago, they look stubby and crummy. I can't believe anybody bought them, to tell you the truth. Compared to now, they're all spindly, and I really like them. So things grow, and then you get ready to do something else.
I'm sure you all get, a little tired of, doing same thing, and I'm sure, every artist has something in mind to do next, something, different. Because you probably get tired of doing, over, but actually what you're doing are all different fabrics, so this every process is different, it's not that you are doing same thing, all the time, maybe the type, but, the fabric, which makes a very, exciting and different, And what is your clients? Are they younger people, older people? Who they are, these are kind of different range?
The gloves are a little bit of everybody. The bags are probably women 35 to 60 or so. A lot of time, like you said, women that dress nicely, but in solids and simpler clothing, and they want one thing that's their splash, you know. And a lot of my businesses repeat. There's people that I've made a dozen bags for over the years, I'm sure, many of them, and I don't get bored of it. Like you were saying, every bag is different, and it's just like a painter would do a color study and just keep playing and working with different color groups. You know, every time I do a group of bags, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just taking a color and walking around my piles of wool and picking a friend and picking a friend and picking a friend. So it's,
do you have a special
different.
room in your house where you store all these?
Oh my God! Well, the room.
Bolts of
I
stuff,
live in
probably.
Pretty much of a loft kind of space, and one
you
of the
probably have to
walls
put
is
some
wool.
kind of see-through containers so you can see what what you're going to reach next time.
A lot of
what you
shelves. A lot of shelves. Some tubs, but mostly just shelves of.
So where do you get your secret places? Where do you buy?
If they were secrets, I wouldn't tell you.
You don't
No,
want to
I'm just
say.
kidding. No, there aren't any secrets. Honestly, I used to be able to source almost all of the wool at thrift stores. Now I do more on eBay. But the majority of it still is.
Do people sell, for example, bulk on things like that, like some sweaters, or they're not wearing anymore, or what?
Well, you can buy anything on eBay, really.
I know.
But the things that I mostly buy are women's coats from the 50s and their particular makers of the wool, and so I can search for unusual words.
They
had names
some
for the different textures.
some good tweeds, things like that.
And then I know what I'm getting. I don't have to feel it because I know.
You can see, you can tell, I'm sure.
So.
For example, I can just looking at this, I know this is cashmere. This is not, any other fabric. I can tell.
You get a feel for that.
Oh, absolutely. When do you work the best? In the morning, in the evening? When do you work the best?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I work all the time, but I enjoy it. So I don't think one time more than others.
So for you, it doesn't really matter, you can, do you have special lamp that you can see what you're doing?
My space where I actually work is well lit by, large lights above. I have chairs that, ergonomic chairs, and my machines are at an angle, and I tried to be really careful about a dozen years ago about getting things all set up in a way that I wouldn't fall apart in the process of making the bags. So, yeah.
I see. Oh, wow. Well, from what I can see, I don't know, when you start first working, you did start with the bags. I
did,
know that.
Yes, I've done bags for almost 20 years.
And how did you think about it? Did you look in the store and you didn't find what you're looking for, and then start kind of playing, and then turn to business?
I think for me, at least, the best way to do that kind of thing, and this is probably true for the imagery on the bags also, is just to look at a lot of things. Not look at something and say, oh, I'm going to make that. But look at, I get W, I get Vogue, I get Elle.
All these magazines,
I'll walk around,
of course.
I'll walk around Neiman Marcus every now and then just to see, maybe a clear closure.
These colors,
this or
right,
that,
right.
So I'm never looking at something and saying, oh, I want to make that. But I'm letting a lot of images come in. And I'm at Torpedo Factory, so I'm surrounded by artists.
Yes.
And I get to see a lot of beautiful work, and doing shows across the country. You see how many talented people there are.
Yes, I know. She works also, all the artists in the Torpedo Factory works there. They don't have a paid help. All the artists work, they have a schedule. So they take turns in being in the gallery all the time. Yeah. So how often do you work there, and can you work there while you are sitting?
I share a studio with 2 people, so in order for us to be open most all of the time, I'm there 2 days, 2 full days, and I get a lot done there, actually.
But that's good, so you're not just losing your time, just sitting
Oh
there.
yeah, no, I go crazy just sitting there. I have to be using my hands or, interacting with people.
I see. And, are you in the same gallery for a long time, the same one on the second floor?
I've been in the same one for about 10 years. So,
Wow.
which is
So
nice. Once you get with a good group of people and it works right,
So what else do you have in your gallery beside you there? You have some other artists that you are sharing, gallery with?
I have 2 studio mates. One's named Don Benedetto and one is Alicia Roman.
So what they are doing?
Both jewelry.
Jewelry.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is complement each other. I
things.
see.
Yeah.
Oh,
You were asking some about the coats and the wools and where they come from. I was just thinking of this one. This is all of these pieces here are old Harris tweed. And I've been collecting a lot of Harris tweed to do some, to do the birds with. So they'll kind of be Harris tweed hummingbirds, I guess. This was a little pencil suit from the 50s that I just thought was too cute. I couldn't stand not to get it. These textured wools were coats. These were women's coats. And these are the ones that I would search for
This was a
on
very
eBay.
probably winter coat.
Yeah. Oh, they're heavy, heavy coats.
And it's perfect for, what you are doing, actually. You found the media that really, it goes well with all your design beautifully. And I'm sure, these gloves, I call it, unusual gloves, are mostly for younger people.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
People wear them of all ages. And older people that have circulation issues wear them indoors a lot, just because they keep them a little bit warmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's surprising to me, too, who all buys them.
Well, see how clever you are,
Well, sometimes I learn by the people that buy them, and I don't necessarily think ahead that way. But I've made ones for people in wheelchairs that have extra padding. I've made ones for musicians who play outside. Things I would never have thought of myself. Yeah.
Oh, it's very, very clever. Well, as you can see, how many talented people we have in Washington area, and I try to find the finest one, and so they can share with us all these beautiful things they are working with. And when you have a chance, go to craft shows. Torpedo Factory in Alexandria is they have artists there. You can talk to them. You can see actually how they are working on their project. So this is very interesting, and I hope you patronize and to see what our art is doing. And also I would like to tell you that we are on YouTube, so you can type Olga Jevtich Fashion Notes, and you can see some of our programs. And hopefully, till next time, you tune in next time to another exciting artist from our area. And thank you for watching today. And that was a fascinating show with Jenny. She is one of the very talented ladies that is from our area. And this is Olga Jevtich reporting for Fashion Notes. Thank you very much for tuning in.